All right, looks like we are going live here, and yeah. So today we are, I'm going to talk about my first job interview, and I was working at what we call McDonald's, and my mom worked at as a leader from when she was earlier at stage because my family doesn't come from Sweden. They moved from China all the way to Sweden, and so yeah, so they stayed there. And when I was like probably 16 or so, I was invited to go there and work as a job after the school. So I was and I had to get my time where I need to show up and pack some burgers, but I also would need to book some time where I would like to show up and do my stuff there. So my yeah, what I think about that job. I think that it was a great job as a teenager because I was just wanting to find whatever money I can get in my pocket, right? So and I stayed there for 5 years, and I met some people from different backgrounds, and some of them were Arabic, other were like from countries like Romania, and yeah, and we got my mom there, who was from China, and so and there was people from Sweden also, different ages, but that doesn't matter. So we were working there, and so there was already a lot of, you can call, backgrounds that were going on. And so I learned different words in the language. For example, in Arabic, I learned like when you say greet somebody, you say assalamu alaikum, and when you want somebody to do something, you just say anta sawi, and a burger wahe cheeseburger. And so yeah, there was a lot of experience going on because we obviously wasn't using the Swedish, although yeah, so we used whatever language we could use towards each other. So people talked around, and yeah, for the most of time we would be having a pretty good and nice time together. And I would go on my bike and bike up to there, and sometimes I woke up and I just brushed my teeth and went there and ate my breakfast. And I usually took some I took some egg roll, and yeah, mixed it up with some what's those potatoes called, chip or something like that, where you take it and you fry it inside oil, and yeah, it gets sort of crispy. And there was one interesting guy I met, or we went to the same school, and yeah, and yeah, so we worked together, and we got to learn each other whenever we got the time, because to be honest, there wasn't enough of time to talk to each other besides the things we were doing. So yeah, and we talked about probably some kung fu because I went with him together to a kung fu school when we were in that age. Oh, sorry, just need to. Yeah, all right. So and so we talked about some Chinese because he was very interested inside Chinese, and he said, "Hey, buddy, maybe we should talk in Chinese." And we say to each other like, "How are you?" And "I'm good," like "Ni hao ma," and 我很好. And yeah. So we talked around and we joked about other colleagues also. Mostly good stuff about each other and so on. So, and I remember there was one incident where there was quite a lot of customer because things were getting much to do towards the summer and vacation period, you might call it. And I was working at the grill and flipping some meat burgers, and yeah, I got some called bubbles here on my arms where I can still recall today, and on hands as well. So people wouldn't want to pick that as a third choice. But sometimes you don't have a choice about it. You kind of need to go inside and take your job, or and yeah, take a step and do whatever they tell you. And yeah, it was pretty tough. But all that said, it was pretty tough to work at that job. Uh, Mostly because we had leaders that were quite serious about getting stuff done and so on. And whenever we had time left over, we would clean, and or he would send usually one guy to and clean all the toilets. And yeah, we would sometimes put that task to each other. And yeah, it was most fun, or we didn't actually get into some trouble with each other, so to speak. um, and But at summer there was a lot of things to do, right? There was a lot of customer and the pressure was high. And I remember that you know I would so after I was working at the grill, I went ahead to the and making some burgers, right? Putting some buns inside the um, machine, and as it came out, I began to dress it from bottom to top, or actually it could be both ways. Anyway, and I was making burgers and sending them to, towards the front. And they because people working at the front, they were certainly often like jerks, right? They were just standing there and watching the display. And whenever things went missing or didn't come out, they were used to yell, oh, where's my burger, right? And go and make one burger for me. And do it quickly, and so on and so stuff. So there was already a lot of pressure on the kitchen side, whereas the front desk, were I wouldn't say they were chilling, but they certainly um, had less to worry about. And Yeah, so we worked there, and I usually, was working with my mom, and but the pressure was all the same, because she was pretty hard on everyone. So my mom was pretty a tough one, and just to each and everyone you can call. um, and so, did I like about the job? Yeah, I mean, thinking about that, I certainly learned about a lot of stuff about the job. For example, lot of experience about getting into a low paid job, and dealing with people from a lot of backgrounds. Sometimes you got to learn what they say, and mean and so stuff. But at first it was pretty tough. But afterwards you kind of get got used to it. Um, and I was remembering it was quite a lot of work to do. So as I went home, I was all exhausted, and frankly speaking, and I was smelling some burgers from top to bottom, and yeah. But it was quite an experience, certainly. um, and and Yeah, it was a lot of things to put together and make it in time. It was also the drive-through, so I was taking orders from cars running through, and sometimes they didn't speak Swedish, but they spoke in their own language, like Danish or German. And so sometimes you I had to put in a lot of work, right, to understand them, and to make their order as they wish, you can say. And yeah, I found that job quite amazing, that just speaking and picking up folks orders. And yeah, so there was about my first job at McDonald's in a town called Ljungby.